All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and Shalom to the men of the Lord that are prophesying, preaching and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom Barakathum. You can see this article I got pulled up here. Space traffic is about to get worse. Thanks to the U.S. military. And I wonder why. All right. Why is it about to get worse? Why is the military getting ready to launch what they call a constellation of satellites? And that's basically what the prophets are on the scene to break down as we're set up as watchmen. All right. Pursuant to Ezekiel, the third chapter. All right. It's our duty to warn the sheep, to warn the flock. All right. And ultimately, this thing is we're at the end. You know, that's the more bottom line of the answer, I guess I should say. That's the bottom line of it all. All right. It says an upcoming fleet of satellites will add to the existing space commotion. All right. Now the space commotion, all right, is all kind of space junk and debris. They didn't launch all kind of shit up there, man. Monkeys, rats, you name it, man. They've been launching shit up there, testing things, particular animals and all kind of satellites and different rockets and other space technologies since the 60s, man. All right. And they don't have a way of cleaning it up. All right. Because they barely have the technology to get that high up in the heavens to begin with. They have to dump a lot of fuel. All right. They have to do all of these complicated technologies have to be stood up, and getting into space and launching satellites is not a business that you can just start up as an entrepreneur. Okay, you got to be plugged in, you got to be juiced in. All right, and and ultimately, this is prophecy, man, because you're gonna find out the reason that they're doing it. I'm gonna get that, but let's read a little bit of this. It says sometime this coming March, a network of 10 small satellites winged with the solar panels is scheduled to launch into Earth's low orbit, though likely invisible to the naked eye. The satellites will be part of a future herd of hundreds that, according to the Space Development Agency, SDA, will bolster the United States' defense capabilities. All right. See, that's the main point. This is all a big effort to defend, all right, what Esau believes to be his kingdom, which the Lord did give him the earth, to rule at this particular point in time. But ultimately, it's not his, When you read Genesis, all right, the 27th chapter, okay, I believe it's the 27th, the 27th chapter, you see the blessings of basically Jacob and Esau. And they both were promised the fatness of the earth. But see, Jacob never got the fatness of the earth. Those being the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. We never ruled the entire planet. Our kingdom was set up for about 40 years through King Solomon. All right. And we ruled the known world at that time. All right. Via managing the Holy Land, the Levant region. But we were never these empires going all the way across Asia and Australia and South Africa and the Western Hemisphere. All right. And we just never had that as a kingdom the way Esau does today. So we never had that blessing. All right. And so that's how you know that we're at the end. And the Lord basically set him up, man. Let me see. Go down. Yeah, the stolen blessing. And Esau, Genesis 27 and 27 and 38. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Because he was supplanted. He actually sold his birthright and then tried to come back, all right, and undermine the thing that he sold. All right. And he wasn't going to tell his father Isaac that he sold his birthright. He was just going to take the blessing and run off with it, man. Even though he didn't give anything, he didn't give a shit about it, man. All right. It says, bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. All right. It says, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. All right. So that means you are going to rule with the sword, a complete opposite the way King Solomon ruled. Solomon ruled through wisdom. You had other nations just bringing him, trying to get part of that wisdom, bringing him gold and spices, and But that's not how Esau lived. He went throughout the whole earth conquering, man. All right. He says, and by thy sword thou shalt thou live, and thou shalt and shalt thou serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion. All right. That thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. All right. And so that time basically came. All right. Well, we didn't have the Edomites in slavery, and Esau ended up ruling, man. Now, when you read the other context to that, I believe Esau, I typed this in before. You can see this is in Second Ezra somewhere. Let me just. Second Ezra 6 and 9 says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So that the fatness of the earth that he got was always meant to come to an end. All right. And basically Esau knows this. He knows this time is coming, and that's why these defense measures are being taken. You're right. So lock you for the long explanation there, but we'll keep going. Lord willing, it's edifying. It says this is the SDA, formed in 2019, is an organization under the United States Space Force, the newly formed military branch that operates and protects American assets in space. All right. And these people have been getting visited for decades, man. All right. But we believe through the Spirit that the visits have become so numerous and so frequent that he's got to respond. It's no shocker that the Space Force is set up as a military branch of the government. All right, it's not like NASA. So this is basically telling you, look, the dollars that we're pouring into outer space, this is for our defense, man. All right, it says, and like all good startups, the agency is positioned as a disruptor. It aims to change the way the military acquires and runs its space infrastructure. For instance, the forthcoming satellite network, called the National Defense Space Architecture, all right, will collectively gather and beam information, track missiles, and help aim weapons, among other tasks. All right, and this is kind of like an image of it. But all of this, all right, is an effort to try to defeat Yahweh Shai, which we're going to read here in 2nd Ezra the 13th chapter. All right. So 2nd Ezra 13. And I start at verse 3. It says, and I beheld, and lo, that man wax strong with the thousands of heaven. All right. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. So Yahweh Shai is going to come through with thousands in the heavens. All right. Talking about that man. This is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right. He's going to show up with thousands in the heavens, man. When he looks down, everybody's going to be horrified. You see? And they know prophecy, man. They know this is coming. It says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the fire faileth when it feeleth the fire, man. All right? So the order is going to come out. All right? And these chariots are going to get busy. All right? And we're going to get busy down here on the earth. All hell's going to break loose for the Edomites, but ultimately this is the kingdom being set up. This is how we get delivered. That's why it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, they were going to be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation, man. All right? It says, and by the way, Esau has run this scenario and showed you how this is going to go down in so many different sci-fi alien invasion movies. He just can't put the aliens as so-called black people. But he knows, all right? It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. All right? So that multitude of men, it's already really gathered, all right? But they're gonna scramble the jets and all of their other. They have all kind of technology, man. Esau got shit he ain't showed you yet, man. But it's not gonna be enough, all right, to win the war in heaven. It's already written that he's gonna lose thoroughly, all right. It says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up on it. All right. So the thing that he was on looked like it was likened into a mountain, man. All right. It says, but I would have seen the regional place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. All right. So that's how big the ship that he's coming in on. All right. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet durst fight, man. All right. These are going to be these pilots flying these fighter jets manually. All right. Because they're going to have to. All right. He don't have enough drones to just launch out there and fight. He's going to have those too, but he's going to need all hands on deck. It's going to come from all of the Edomite nations, Australia, South Africa, France. They all gonna try it, man. All right. Verse 9, it says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue cast out sparks and tempests. All right. So y'all have no chance of winning. Setting all of this up, it's futile. But that's the real reason why they're doing it. Why they're so big. There's this big rush to get back into the skies again. Now all of a sudden NASA, they're trying to get back with the Artemis project. They had the Apollo missions, all right, back in the late 60s, and now the new one that they're trying to go back to the moon is Artemis. And if you know the Greek mythology, Apollo and Artemis were twins. All right. Apollo and Artemis were Greek gods, sons of Zeus. All right, they were twins, and that's what he like, and everything. He worships his old ways, man. You know, everything is from ancient Greece, ancient Rome, all right, or ancient Egypt. You know, it's just a remixed version of all of the gods and things that are worshipped. It's all of the zodiac, all of it is old shit, man. All right. It says such sets of small satellites are called constellations, and those in low Earth orbit, which circles 1,200 miles or lower above the Earth, can send data back and forth quickly. All right. So they're going to try to see him before he comes. All right. But they're not going to be able to see him. They're not going to get a warning. All right. You can tell by their reaction, man. Esau's going to show up, man. All right. I mean, Salaki, he's going to show up on Esau suddenly, man. All right. You can read this whole chapter. It's very, very good on this matter. All right, this is Isaiah 31. And 1, it says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many. They think the American military, all right, is enough for you to just be proud and think you can do whatever the fuck you want. You think you can just bomb these foreigners and radicalize these groups over there in the Middle East and think nothing's going to happen to you, man. They think they can just go around the entire earth doing whatever the fuck they want. Jake is proud here too, man. They don't think Russia's ever gonna touch them. They don't think America's touchable, man, but it's very touchable. All right? And in one day, everybody's gonna put hands on the virgin daughter of Babylon. All right, as spoken about in Isaiah the 47th chapter. That virgin daughter is gonna get gang raped. All right. She's gonna go from being a complete virgin to just being, slutted out, basically. Because the nations are angry. The EU is angry. They're all going to see America as the problem, all right? And because the Esau trusts us in this military, man. It says, let me read this again, verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. All right, that's you other nations as well, too. And stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh. And that's Jake, man. You're going to have niggas that join the military during that time. I'm going to fight for freedom. Not realizing that your king, all right, is the one you're fighting against, the one that's come to overthrow this place so your ass can have a kingdom. You actually going to have niggas that willingly fight, man, and you're going to have Jake that's scared, man, but you was a nigga your whole life. You refused to repent. And Esau is going to put you to work. All right. It says, verse 2, yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words. All right. But will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity, man. All right. So the Lord is not going to turn back on this prophecy coming to pass. All right. There's no alternate timeline. All right. You can pray to your gods. It's not going to matter. All right. Verse 3. Now the Egyptians are men and not the Most High, and their horses flesh and not spirit. And that's why they're going to get utterly wasted in this war in heaven. All right. This is just a bunch of metal and internet connections, man. All right. The weapons that Esau got, it ain't messing with the chariots, man. All right. It's not even close. It says, when the Lord Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they shall all fail together. All right. So this coalition of nations. All right. They're all gonna get their work, man. All right. Now you notice back in 2nd Ezra 13, it lines up because it says, verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heavens to subdue the men that came out of the sea. All right, so all that help gonna get all of you nations that gonna try it with Yahweh Shah when this thing pops off, man. Y'all all are gonna perish. Every single one of you. All right. This is the main point. I'll end it here, man. This is Revelation 12 and 7. All right. It says, and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. All right. So ain't the angel Michael, all right? The high-ranking angel Michael, all right? He's gonna fight with the other angels, man, when Yahweh Shah returns. And that dragon that's being spoke about here, that's another name for the beast, all right? Or that old serpent, which are the Edomites, the Edomite nations. Now, every single person that fights is not going to be an Edomite, but they're going to fight under the banner of Esau, all right? They're gonna try to form a global alliance, and it's gonna fail. All right. It says, and the dragon fought against his angels, and prevailed not. All right, they prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. That means all of y'all that took to the skies to try to fight are going to be done away with. All right, it says, verse 9, and the dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. All right, he had everybody thinking that he was this all powerful because of his technology, man. Because the things that he's able to push on you, the spells he's able to cast on you through his media programming. You see, it says he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And then Christians like to take this and think that this is something that happened at the beginning, and Satan fell from heaven and he took a third of the angels. But no, man, no. Angels here just represents his army that flies, basically, with his technology. Okay. So that's getting ready to happen very, very soon. And it's gonna be sudden, and it ain't shit nobody gonna be able to say. When you read or go back to 2 Ezra 13, it tells you straight up everybody's gonna be scared shitless, man. Everybody. All right. Try to get this real quick. All right, Revelation 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. How is every eye going to see him when he shows up on the earth? Because chariots are going to be everywhere, man. It's going to be live news, everything. All right, it says, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. All right, they're going to be crying. There's another one somewhere. I don't know if I can find it. Yeah, Matthew 24:30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. That sign is going to be hella chariots, man. All right. It says, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory, man. So that's basically it. I'll end it there. Lord willing, this was edifying, man, because we almost out of here, Hakim. So with that, call hello Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rachakwadash Wa Abad Babal Shalom.